No one's gonna Joseph Jams. It's our version of iTunes. No, Mormon music would be better. Joseph Jams. I'm sorry. No.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cardin Ellis. The show is it's not Midnight Mormons anymore. It's going to be something else. But we're like Prince.
Keep it Midnight Mormons.
It should be a
Keep it Midnight Mormons.
I don't think we have to change it from Midnight Mormons necessarily.
Because 3 people are going to be mad.
We just did this video all about how we have to change the name, Brad. And you were like saying we weren't straight up like righteous if we didn't or something like that.
No, I was saying we didn't even discuss the name of our show specifically. We talked about the name change in general, right? So we don't represent the church itself. We're a random YouTube
argument.
Channel. Yeah, but that's us as a small YouTube channel. I'm saying the church in general with the name change is doing the right thing. I don't think that necessarily applies to us, right? We could leave it the same. Do you know what I think we should do?
What? This is news to me, dude. I just rewatched our podcast, re-listened to Neil A. Anderson's talk.
What
is it?
Neil L. Anderson.
Oh yeah, Neil L. Anderson. Whatever. I don't.
Neil A. Maxwell and Neil L. Anderson. You combine them.
Whatever.
Together.
Like all of you.
They would be the ultimate apostle.
Yeah, like you guys, Mormons collect apostles' names like freaking baseball cards, and I've never been in that club.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so you don't think we have to change the name of the church? See, this whole podcast has gotten taken over now by the fact that we don't need to change our name, says Mr. Spiritual of the group. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
So look at it this way. I think that we're probably okay to not change the name. What I think we should do is we should, now that we've done our due diligence of considering the name change, looking through every option of what we could call it, we should get together about it, pray about it, and ask for guidance on what we should do moving forward. Because there may be something the big guy upstairs has to say about what direction we should go that does mean that we should still change it. But I don't think that when we're being told to use the correct name of the church when referring to the church, that means we can't use the word Mormon at all, right?
Then what was that whole podcast we did with Chris Hanna? And then we specifically mentioned, I remember there was a moment where Kwaku was joking about how the 12 were calling out specifically our channel, because we're the only ones left that aren't anti-Mormons that use the term Mormon in our podcast. Okay. And he specifically pointed that out. And then you quoted straight up Neil A.L. Anderson, whoever he is. All right. You know what I'm saying? And you said, I shouldn't say whoever he is. That sounds dismissive and disrespectful, but the guy looks really goofy in his family photos. Anyway, that guy who also happens to represent the Lord. But anyway, he straight up says, faithful podcasts and so on and so forth. And I wouldn't necessarily call us a faithful podcast in the sense that, we're lapdogs for the church that just go out and try and justify everything that we have. We are independent thinkers who say what our thoughts are. And we oftentimes show the fallacious arguments of anti-Mormons, especially those that home wreck for profit, So yeah, I always felt we don't represent the church. So I thought, using the term Mormon is okay, but how do we deal with that sentence that talks about podcasts and blogs being willing to accommodate, for lack of a better term?
Mm-hmm. I think it's more faithful podcasts and blogs that are representing the church to people who don't know about it, right? Like telling people who are just random investigators of the church who we are as a church, right? Where we're kind of aimed at an audience of people who either are currently LDS or have been, right? Most of the people who watch our show are not people who are investigating the church, right?
All I'm saying is I'm one more conference talk away from starting the Mormon show. I literally, I swear, I'm so close. I'm so close. I am sick of us leaving the freaking Taliban of antis with a gaping hole to just destroy as we're like, I know, let's do a channel called the freaking Brigham's Binger. Woo! What is that? No one's gonna look that up.
No one's hoppity off of church property.
That's like I'm sorry. No one's gonna Joseph Jams. It's our version of iTunes. No, Mormon music would be better. Joseph Jams. I'm sorry. No one's looking it up. All right, we're getting our butts kicked. And you know what? If I have to be the unfaithful podcaster, if I've got to be the podcaster in the wild, then I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally fine.
You're John the Baptist
eating locusts and wearing camel fur.
All right, maybe that'll be me. Totally fine with it. All right, and you know what? In the age of where the internet has OnlyFans, saying I have a Mormon podcast is not the end of the world. All right, I'm sorry.
I actually don't think that that's what they're saying either. Right?
No, I'm responding more to like just the whenever. Here's the thing: when the apostles put something out, by the time it gets to the general public, like the dog has run so loose into 15 different. It's coming through the filter of whatever like stake president's favorite blogger's aunt said. You know what I mean? And it's like it's not even necessarily the same opinion they gave. It's like 35 people removed by the time I see it in a tweet. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm responding to the general just blob of that. You know what I mean?
Like the feel where you have every member a mission president, where suddenly every single person is like, "Oh, I should report the missionaries."
Like this like dude on Twitter, super annoying. Like he like bought his first mic because he wanted to be like a religious apologist kind, the kind that like. I know awkwardly because you have Zoom, but the kind that only do their stuff on Zoom and they argue about eschatology for 4 hours, like those awful Christian YouTubers who are the most boring people ever. Well, he was one of those, and I made my tweet like, I don't like Christopher Columbus. I don't think he was the guy. He's like, you're out of step with the brethren. I'm like, no. And it's like, but they said this. Don't you have to agree? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, you have decided to turn against the church. And I was like, shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah,
like, just people
Quaker, didn't you know?
Those kinds of...
It's the new Final Temple recommend interview question.
Yeah. Do you sustain Christopher Columbus?
So then wait. But then what was Brad? I am confused AF here. Okay.
Well, dude, you started off that episode talking about just the name change of the church, like talking about.
Well, yeah. So then why did we make all these posts about, hey, we're considering a new name?
I don't know why you did that. You just did it.
What? Brad, I was getting guilt tripped by you, feeling I'm going to hell if I don't change my name. Okay, no,
I don't know where the guilt came from.
Actually, though, I think that I appreciate a lot of the comments on that episode where people were saying thank you for actually being candid about this, because they were like, I thought people were going to jump on me and attack me for saying that I wasn't that big of a fan, but a lot of people were like, I feel the same way, and I feel like the fact that we actually can show some disagreements and show when like our thoughts may not line up exactly with the brethren. I think that shows like that we're not just a lapdog for the church, right? That we're just actually people, because people get on YouTube to watch people. People want to see like
authenticity.
And so I think showing the authenticity actually was a good thing. And so I just thought the comments on that were really, really, really cool.
Okay, so now, first off, I agree with you, and this is actually something that I'm still wrestling with, and I do believe, Brad, that your admonition that we should, hast thou inquired of the Lord, is probably the proper thing, and I think yes, we should do that, and see what we come up with. At the same token, I really do believe that when they say, "Have you searched this out in your heart and your mind first?" As I've been doing my due diligence and my mental wrestle with the Lord before my prayerful wrestle with him, I've come up oftentimes thinking, well, we don't represent the church.
Yeah.
I don't like how a lot of the anti-Mormons have tried to co-opt Mormonism into being kind of like an ethnicity, like you can be Jewish without believing in, that David was inspired of God or that Moses was real and so on and so forth. And it's like, sorry, we're not that way. Mm-hmm. Like you're not Mormon just because your great grandfather knew Orrin Porter Rockwell and crossed the plains of Missouri with him, especially if your blog, you're not loyal opposition just because you have family that are members of the church.
Or you're named after a cartoon fish.
Or
yeah, I mean, look, here's the way I see it. We're authentic, and that's why it's fun. And authenticity is really important, but we're authentic and we're faithful. We believe.
Yeah. And I think that should be the driver for us if we choose to rename or not, right? If we do pray about it and feel like we should change the name, we should be authentic in the name that we choose.
Okay,
And,
I'm still wildly confused because half these names
Nauvoo
you had
Netflix.
thought of. Nauvoo Netflix.
Nauvoo Netflix, that's the name because it's 3 people watching the show. And Nauvoo's. Oh, gosh. It's just those horrible. Dude, when 3 Mormons became Saints Unscripted, I was so annoyed. I watched our viewership just go.
Yeah, but it didn't go that way just because of the name.
Yeah,
it was also because of the change in tone, right?
Well, I mean, that was before it went a little more progmo. I'm saying, like, when like the core hosts were still on there and kicking butt and having fun. It just
Okay, well, that whole thing was
we got drowned out by the football team.
Yeah.
People type in Saints on YouTube, but they were thinking of the football players. So we got our butts kicked by a bunch of athletes.
Yeah, that's true. Like athletes that don't even really care about YouTube probably because they get all of the sociability that they need without it. So, okay, so this has blown my mind, Brad Whitbeck. This has blown my mind because half these names, some of the more popular comedic names were ones that you had thought up.
Yeah,
like,
Riley and
Christian
I
Struggle
just added
Bus
to the list.
That was hilarious. Christian Struggle Bus.
My personal favorite is Rough Stone Trolling. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, that was epic.
That's funny.
Okay, so before we get off this, let's just go over some of these because my mind is blown, and maybe our audience can just say which one they do like, in case we do come back from our peripheral inquiry. And decide we do need to change. It's not the audience's show, but I do believe the audience has a say. It's our show, so we will decide. But at the end of the day, some of these I thought were cool. So we're just going to burn through these real fast. The winner of poll 6 out of 7, the first poll, let's go over the first one. Latter-day Dudes was the most popular and was my favorite on that one. It actually beat out by 7% Rough Stone Trolling. So far we got Latter-day Dudes and Rough Stone Trolling. Nice. Then I had voted for Holy Shiz, but everybody else liked High on Kolob. So those are the 2 winners right there.
They sound like potheads in church.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Elon Musk on Joe Rogan.
High on Kolob.
Yeah, seriously, exactly. So anyway, so far we've got Latter-day Dudes, and then we've got Holy Shiz.
Latter-day Dudes sounds like who's the dude who made all like a Hailstrom movie? You know what I mean? Like a Hailstrom.
Oh, Hailstorm?
Hailstorm. It sounds like one of those.
It does sound like
2000s.
Baptist at the barbecue.
Yeah.
It's a little too punny.
Yeah.
Now, see, Midnight Mormons is an alliteration, but not a pun. You know what I'm saying?
Let's call the show the Nauvoo Legion.
Yeah. I was thinking we could troll and just say like men with muskets or something like that.
Oh my
but
gosh.
People would just get super angry and not get the joke. And then we would just like literally probably just like assassinated
also though, dude,
somewhere.
I'm kind of fine with the fact that like cancel culture is dying and less celebrities are caring. And so like I think the woke reign of terror is coming to an end as people are like just like giving the middle finger. So all I'm saying is like Salt Lake Tribune woke types who are trying to shame everyone. The day of reckoning is coming.
No. Hey, you know who you look like, by the way? I'm going to have to insert this in. But
Arsenio Hall mixed with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
I do. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Look it up. If you mix their faces together, I look exactly like,
dude, there's this YouTuber that just came across my feed somehow. One of his reels came up.
The day of reckoning is coming.
Is it done?
I think he's called Black Rich Guy or something like that. And he made this hilarious video where a guy in the giant gay pride flag sits down in front of the Netflix employee and he says, "Is it done?"
So, is it done?
And then the Netflix employee looks up and he's like,
"I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to cancel Dave Chappelle for you." What are you trying to say? I'm saying I'm done stepping on eggshells. Someone has to speak up. We were there for you. We supported you. But you became the one thing we've been protecting you from, a bully. And I'm not afraid of you anymore. I got the high ground. Is that so? Pose was a really good show, but today the category is comedy. And if you want to be taken seriously, you got to learn how to take a joke. Maybe you're right. But I'm a leftist.
And he comes up with the Thanos.
You think my transformation from a girl to a man is my final form? Wait, no. I'm not your enemy. I'm your friend. If you don't feel threatened by a male, Then what about God? Do it! Cancel Dave Chappelle! I'm trying, but his ratings won't go any lower.
They won't go any lower. It is really funny. In fact, I'm going to post it. I might even just throw it in here. Anyway, okay, so here we go. So the first two were Latter-day Dudes, and the second was Holy Shiz. Latter-day Dudes and, High on Kolob. Third, I voted for Wise as Serpents, but everybody liked Late Night Liahona. You know what I'm saying? Late Night Liahona.
These are not, I'm sorry, dude. These are,
one of the comments on it I thought was good. Late Night Liahona feels way too faithful.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Divine Comedy sketch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here was my next favorite one, and I like this one.
It sounds like Kevin Baldwin should be like, "Hi guys, welcome to Late Night Liahona." Oh, they throw the glow sticks.
Which would honestly be a fun show.
Yeah. I miss him. It
would just not be this show.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the next one. I liked Saints Unleashed, and there's a history to Saints Unleashed too. You know what I'm saying? Look at Quaco. He's like
Drink a monster.
Well, people don't realize it, but what became This Was the Show, we had originally filmed as Saints Unleashed, and I still have the footage and some of the screenshots of it. But they made such a stink after having given us verbal permission, the people over at Book of Mormon Central, or what was it called, Quaco?
It wasn't Book of Mormon Central. It
the
was
More Good Foundation.
It was More Good.
Oh, yeah. So after saying, yeah, do Saints Unleashed, that's fine. After we actually did it and it looked good, somebody got jelly over there and was like, oh, no, you can't do it. It's too close. So we had to reshoot the entire thing with a new logo. And that's how we were shouldered with the whole, I don't want to say burden because it ended up being really funny, but that's how we ended up getting the whole TITS, moniker. So I would
the
be
bureaucracy
fine
of Mormon media is also something people don't like understand.
Yeah.
There's a whole, we dealt with the politics and bureaucracy of Mormon media.
Yeah. So anyway, Saints Unleashed. I like Saints Unleashed, and I think that one's kind of cool.
It was a cool logo too.
I had voted for Faith After Dark, and that's what a lot of people liked.
Fad.
Faith After Dark, Fad.
We gotta remember, this is the show ended up being tits. We gotta remember. Yeah. People are like, call yourself followers of Christ.
Oh. We spell of with a U.
And the last one was the most popular, Zion After Midnight. But the next popular was I Have My Own Ideas, and some of them were really funny. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't even read them all. You just have to go onto the pitch and look at them. I mean, onto the post and look at them. So anyway, Brad, as our resident chaplain of the group, you say what to the name change?
I say we pray about it. We figure it out. We see what we think. And if we feel good about it, we feel good about it. And if we just stay with Midnight Mormons, I think that's a totally reasonable outcome for us. I do want to say that I think that if Radio Free Mormon wants to keep his entire what's the right word for this? Wants to keep his membership, however good standing it is right now, he should change his name to Radio Free Latter-day Saint. Because then he can be more faithful than we are, right? Like,
yeah, I don't even know where that guy's at. So anyway, all right. Well, we're just gonna have to end this as its own podcast, and we'd love all of our audience to participate. Let us know in the comments where you feel about this, where your thoughts are, and the podcast we were about to do, we're just gonna start right now. See you guys in the next podcast.